Todd Zolecki is answering the call now. MLB.com reporter, does a great job covering the Phillies. Todd, thanks so much for being with us. I think it goes without saying that Trea really needed to get that gorilla off of his back. What do you think?
100%. It's been such a grind for him. You know, he signs the big contract. He comes in with so many high expectations. He's been one of the best players in baseball over the last 5, 6 years, as you know. And then it just does not go well at the beginning. And you could see how much he cared about his struggles and how frustrated he was becoming. You know, he made some miscues in the field. He was striking out a lot. And then, you know, he got sat down a couple weeks ago. He fell from second in the lineup to seventh, which he hadn't done since 2018. Then he dropped to eighth. First time he's done that since his rookie season. And so then coming into Philly off a rough road trip in Pittsburgh and Miami, everybody's wondering, like, is he going to get booed? You know, because Philly's a tough place to play. Then this movement started. You know what? Let's try to cheer for him, give him a standing ovation, show our support. And Philly fans did. And it was pretty crazy. That Friday night game against the Royals, he got standing ovations before all four of his at-bats. He had a single. Fans went crazy. And then the big moment, like you said, Saturday, that home run, that go-ahead 3-run home run. And it was just electric at the ballpark. And now, of course, you know, they're hoping that he can keep it going. Because if he can keep it going and play like Trea Turner typically plays, it is going to be such a huge boost for this offense going into the final 2 months.
And Todd, I live right by I-95, and I can take I-95 right now from Massachusetts to Philadelphia and see the billboard that Trea Turner put up thanking the Philadelphia fans for his support. I mean, it obviously mattered to him. I would imagine it was truly weighing on him, but they gave him a standing ovation, and hopefully he's turned the corner.
Yeah, you could really see that it was weighing on him. And to his credit, you know, after every game, if he committed an error or he went over, he came out and talked to us and said, yeah, I stink right now. He's been pretty blunt about his play. And so I think that resonated with Philly fans. It wasn't like he was coming out and going, you know, man, I'm just hitting the ball hard. I'm so unlucky right now. He's like, I've never played this bad in my life. It's, you know, the other night in Miami, after he committed a big error, he went into the batting cage after the game. He came out to talk for 2 minutes, still in full uniform, to talk to us, talk about the error, and then he went back into the batting cage and hit until midnight. And for those people that don't know, that's very, very unusual for a big leaguer to go hit for about an hour post game with a noon game the next day. So you could really see he's been putting in the effort.
That's all you can ask, is for a player to post. Good, bad, or ugly, you post after the game and answer for what you did. All right, the Phillies, man, they are playing well. Won 8 of their last 12 games, but let's brag upon this bullpen for a little bit. What has made them so effective, Todd? Because they've been unscored upon in 8 of those 12 contests.
Yeah, they've had the best bullpen ERA in baseball since mid-April, and I think a few things. Craig Kimbrell, of course, they signed him to a 1-year deal coming off that down year with the Dodgers, and they were kind of hoping he would bounce back. And, man, he has bounced back in a major way, to the point where Rob Thompson has moved from closer by committee to Craig Kimbrell as his closer. You know, Gregory Soto's been a nice pickup. But then the Phillies have also found some other kind of like under-the-radar pickups, which they have not done in past years. Jeff Hoffman, former first-round draft pick, and has been a huge contributor to this bullpen. Junior Marte, who they got from picked up from the Giants in the offseason, he's been a huge pickup. And then, you know, Sir Anthony Dominguez has been huge. Jose Alvarado should be coming back from the injury list soon. When he's healthy, he's been one of the best relievers in baseball. And that's something that the Phillies have not had over the past several seasons, a good bullpen, and it's such a big difference maker for this team.
Oh my gosh, bullpens are what keep GMs up at night. Everybody needs a better bullpen. The Phillies bullpen has been tremendous. Let's talk about the starting staff for a second, Todd. Ranger Suarez was originally slated to start on Monday, but for whatever reason, the Phillies pushed Ranger back until the second game of this doubleheader. Why?
I think it's probably just a preference thing. You know, Zach Wheeler was supposed to, Zach Wheeler might want to pitch game 1, and so Ranger Suarez is going to pitch game 2. But you mentioned how, the rotation's actually been pretty solid as well. They just got Michael Lorenzen last week in the trade with the Tigers. And, he threw the ball great in his Phillies debut, went 8 innings. I think that this rotation is kind of flown under the radar a little bit because you look at some of the ERAs. Zach Wheeler's ERA is not quite where it's been. Aaron Nola's kind of been up and down. But this is a rotation I think not a lot of teams would like to see in the postseason.
Yeah, Michael Lorenzen, you mentioned that pickup. I loved this pickup for Philadelphia. And Lorenzen, after his outing, Todd, said he never had to shake off JT Realmuto one time. Now, JT had 2 days to study him because, of course, the cut on his hand kept him out of the lineup. But how do you see that tandem working? And why is Lorenzen a good fit?
Well, I think that this fit between JT and Michael Lorenzen is going to be a good fit just because Michael has said that he really places a lot of trust in his catchers, and he knows that JT studies as much as anybody in the game, and so he really showed a lot of faith in him, and JT really made all the right calls last week against Miami, so they certainly expect that to continue. And I think Lorenzen is a great fit because, number one, he's been an all-star starter this season for the Tigers. So right now the Phillies are going to go with a six-man rotation. That's going to give Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler some extra rest, Ranger Suarez some extra rest, three guys that pitched a lot of innings last season. And quite frankly, they're concerned about their workload going into the postseason again. So that six-man rotation of Lorenzen right now is going to help. Now, if they should need a bullpen, a reliever late in the season, maybe even the postseason because of need or injury, whatever, Michael Lorenzen has been a reliever for years with the Reds. So they kind of see him as a potential swingman. Keep him in the rotation for now, of course. But if a need arises, hey, we've got Michael Lorenzen. We know he can do it because he's done it in the past.
Kind of like an accordion. Stretch him out when you need him, smash him back when you want him coming out of the pen. I can't talk about the Phillies without talking about Bryce Harper and how he just dominates against his old squad. He has reached base safely 36 times against the Nationals. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think, you talk to a lot of players that face their former team. They never like to admit it in the moment, but then afterwards, it is kind of nice, like playing well against your former team. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. And certainly right now, coming into this series, Bryce has been swinging the bat pretty well. He's had a few homers over the past 10 days or so. He went through that career-long stretch, homerless drought earlier this season. So this is kind of like good timing for him, in a sense, with the 4-game series against the Nationals. Get him hot, get Trea Turner hot, get a little bit more out of Schwarber and Castellanos and Realmuto, and the Phillies really believe that this offense can take off.
Yeah, Castellanos already 3 home runs in the month of August. Todd Zolecki with MLB.com covering the Fightins. Thanks so much for your time, Todd.
Thank you.